everybody. Welcome to this edition of Inside IU Volleyball with head coach Sherry Dunbar. I'm Greg Murray. This past weekend, the Indiana Hoosiers split a road trip to Northwestern in Illinois. A 3-set victory over the Wildcats, 4-set defeat to the Fighting Illini.
Yeah, we were really excited. I thought we had a good week of practice. After you and I talked, we had a good meeting on Monday, and I thought Thursday was our best practice of the week. Had a good practice on Friday morning at Northwestern, and then I thought, and came out just like we'd been practicing. So it was nice. As we know, anytime you can get a 3-set win in the Big Ten, that's awesome, but also just to be on the road and get that as well. And I know for our seniors, that was the first time they'd beat Northwestern. We've had some really tight matches with them over the last 4 years, and so I thought it was a real tribute to how hard they're still pressing at the end of the season here to find that win.
On the road against Northwestern, just from the beginning, the team just seemed to have a great amount of confidence, really controlling the match, especially in the first 2 sets. The third got extremely close, a nice comeback at the end to finish off the sweep. What was the biggest thing that Indiana did right in that match?
I thought attacking them from the very start. I thought just going out and being the aggressors was really, really important, and we kind of got our offense rolling and our passing and even our serving to get them out of system as much as possible, because as we know, Stephanie Holtis is a great player, and we tried to limit or at least set up so we knew exactly when they were going to try to give her the ball so we could run a defense around it. So, but I thought that the biggest part was just coming out emotionally ready to play. And I think as you get to know your team, like more and more as the year goes along, you know, that morning I woke up and after practice I just had a good feeling because I felt like they were really engaged in what was going on.
In that third set, it got very close. You guys came back later in the set, ended up winning 25-23. In the match total, Jordan Haverly and Kelsey Marshall both in double figures in kills. Caitlin Hansen ended up in double figures in digs. 9 digs in the last 19 points of play. Just a tremendous jump in her dig stats.
Yeah, I mean, the third set is probably what I'm most proud of. You know, to be down, 17-12, I think, and to come back and tie it at 23 and then finish off the set is very, very difficult to do. And I know Northwestern came out and played much better in that third set and really had things kind of going their way. So to have that kind of fight at the end and to find ways to put balls away and to stay calm and not to kind of react to what was going on and just kind of stick to the game plan, I thought was very, very positive, you know, for our team.
The next night in Champaign, coming out, struggled a little bit just to kind of get the offense flowing, some mistimed jumps. The defensive positioning, it just didn't seem to flow like it did in the Northwestern match previous. What do you think the Illini did right, or what did you see on Saturday's match?
Well, I felt like, you know, they switched their lineup quite a bit and put McMahon on the outside, which I thought was very good on their part, but they still ran the same offense, so it wasn't like we saw a totally different offense or anything. We know that they are physically dominating as far as their block goes, and I felt like that we got way too careful with our swings. And instead of just going up like we did, I thought, against Northwestern and just taking big swings and trying to go off the block and find an angle and find what they give us and take it, I felt like we were just way too careful, and they found a lot of key blocks for momentum. And I thought Illinois played great defense. You know, it was hard to put a ball away against them, and I think that frustrated us, and we never really got into a rhythm of finding what we did on Friday night. You know, and against a team like that, they are super aggressive. They don't come out to roll shot or tip. They come out to swing for the floor. And we knew that, and I just don't think we matched the intensity that they had. And again, it was, you know, Saturday morning, it was a good practice. It wasn't a great practice, you know, so I was hoping a warm-up was good and everything, but I didn't have that same feeling like we were totally ready to go. And I did think we fought in the match, and we won a set off of them, and I thought it was tight in some of the other sets, but I never really felt like we really got to our game on our side of the net.
Jordan led the way once again. She had 15 kills in that match. Another player offensively that got going towards the latter half of the match was Morgan Leach. She had 11 kills. A cool weekend for her from Champaign. Got to go to her hometown.
Yeah, I know that's always a big weekend for her. Obviously, you know, being right from there, and I think they tend to call her a traitor and lots of different things, you know, which is fun. But I know she's always excited to play because a lot of fans come out to see her play and see the progress she's made from year to year. And so I was happy she kind of got back on track, because the first couple of sets she really struggled, but then the last couple she really came to life. And I thought both our middles did a good job throughout the weekend, but struggled a little bit against Illinois. You know, I thought they really targeted our middles a little bit, knowing what they did against them last time and knowing how they're performing right now. And I didn't think we really maybe put them in the best situations possible to score.
For the second consecutive week, this week's player interview, we chose a junior. This time it's Mel Hicks, a defensive specialist from Louisville.
Mel, something that Coach Dunbar has always talked to me about is how you guys try and come out and serving very aggressive. I know something that you specialize in, coming off the bench in the back row, serving aggressive. What do you as a player try and do coming out on the floor?
I mean, I know especially just being a back row player, that's my only opportunity really that I can score points for our team. So like, it just really pumps me up to just be like, all right, like this is like a kill for me. So I mean, like I go back there mentality like I'm gonna like knock their head off basically. You know, just go for it, get them out of system because that's the beginning of our offense. You know, if we can get them out of system, then our block is way better to like set up where to go. So it's just something that we really drive home on our team that we can do to help us.
And you as a junior this season, 2 freshmen currently with Kendall Merritt and Courtney Harnish also play in the back row like yourself. What do you do now that you're an upperclassman? Kind of take them under your wing now more than halfway through the Big Ten season, just kind of show them the ropes in the back row.
Yeah, you know, me and Kate just really, we talked about before the season how we wanted to make them feel comfortable, you know, give them all the advice that we could, you know, definitely like, especially in a high pressure like situation, you know, we've been through it already and we know how like intense it can be back there, and just think about, okay, like when we were freshmen, what we wanted to hear, and you know, we had like great people help us in that role, so we just wanted to, you know, carry that on and just, you know, really give them the advice that they need to be successful.
And with the rest of the team, you guys are right now in the midst of a 4-match road trip. Just finished the second one, 1-1 right now. How do you keep your confidence going? 2 more hostile environments next weekend with Nebraska and Iowa. How do you keep your team mentally focused and going out against Nebraska on Friday?
I mean, as far as the like hostile environments, I mean, I know me personally, like I like thrive off of that, like just being in that competitive atmosphere, like it's so fun. And I think just as a team, we have to embrace that. And, you know, go in there feeling like it's our home court, like we're going to play our game. We have so much confidence right now in how we're playing, and we know we're playing good volleyball. So we just want to go in there with that underdog mentality and just be that upset team, you know. And that's what I think we have to keep driving us these next couple of weeks.
All right, thanks, Mel.
Yeah, no problem.
In that interview with Mel, I talked about the current road trip that Indiana's in and how she deals with the different environments that come to town. Champaign before at Huff Hall, a good environment. Heading to Nebraska this weekend, one of the toughest in the country, no doubt. She talked about how she really embraces the environment and kind of feeds off of the hostile environment that these fans play off of. How do you deal with each player dealing with that type of situation differently?
You know, I mean, at times, you know, we go to Nebraska this weekend and you just kind of get thrown into the gauntlet, but I think you know that coming in, that is the Big Ten. I mean, we have the best crowd support in the country, and you do embrace that because that's so fun, you know, to be able to train as hard as we do and actually have fans out there that care so much about our sport and make it a lively environment. You have to love it. And I think, you know, Nebraska is by far the best environment in the country, and they love their Huskers and they love volleyball in general. And, you know, there's no better place to play, and it's, you know, it's great for them that they're getting a new Coliseum, you know, a new volleyball arena, but really, the Coliseum they play in right now is just an unbelievable volleyball environment. So we will, you know, talk about that a lot this week because it's exciting, and we want our kids to be able to embrace that because you just don't get a chance to play in front of that many fans that are totally all about volleyball. And the good thing about Nebraska fans, I will say, give a compliment to them, is that they love volleyball. And so when there's great rallies going on and things like that, they love to see that kind of volleyball and will cheer for that kind of volleyball. I know last year Caitlin Cox had some great digs at that match, and the fans were on their feet, you know, excited about just watching quality volleyball action.
Now, last time these two teams faced off, the Hucksters came to Bloomington. You guys pushed them to 5 sets. What do you look to build off of that match and go against this team on the road?
Well, obviously Nebraska's going to play as hard as they can. You know, I mean, we took them to 5 sets, and I thought we played very good volleyball at home. Playing at their place is obviously a little bit different. It's their comfort zone. But hopefully it gives us a little confidence. You know, obviously that we took them to 5 sets. I really felt like we should have won that match, but Nebraska came back and played really well at the end of the 4th set, in the 5th set. And so we learned from that. We look back at the things we did well and the things we didn't do well and kind of where we've progressed to, and obviously some things that maybe Nebraska's doing a little bit different as we start film work today. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for the road trip. We have 3 weeks left in the Big Ten season, and I know our players are ready to give it everything they have. And, you have 3 seniors that are getting ready to go out, and they've had a great 4 years, and I know they're ready to put it all on the line. So I'm excited for this week of practice and excited to go on the road. It's, a lot of people don't like to go on the road, but I actually like being on the road because the kids get to be together more. We get to be a lot more engaged in film sessions and just getting ready for matches. When you're at home, there's a lot of distractions, so I actually think it'll be a good weekend for us.
The next day, on Saturday, will be against the Iowa Hawkeyes, another team that defeated Indiana at home. That was in 4 sets. What kind of things do you need to do on Saturday against the Hawkeyes in Iowa City to seek revenge on the road?
Yeah, that's a lot of ball control. I mean, serving and passing are going to be a huge key in that match. And it's a revenge match for us. I felt like we did not play well in that match, and we really let their outside hitters just go off on us and hit for some huge numbers. I think one of their outsides had 25, 26, 27 kills against us, and that can't happen again for us to be successful. So we're definitely going to watch that film again and kind of see what they're doing and make sure our defense and our block are ready for their outside attack.
Both of those matches this weekend will be played at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The live audio can be heard with myself and Kyle Johnson on IUHoosiers.com on Friday and Saturday. Nebraska and Iowa, respectively, the last Big Ten weekend road trip of the season. Coach, thank you for joining me in this week's edition of Inside IU Volleyball.